Founders, did you know a monthly investors presentation can unlock a lot of potential benefits, value, and even a potential funding for the startups? Yet, I have seen more than 100 of the startups do not send these monthly MIS reports to their investors or to their stakeholders. So if you are one of them who are going to raise funds or who have just raised funds, this video is exactly for you to understand how do you create an MIS, what all things you should include in an MIS, how do you communicate your performance, your businesses to these investors. We are going to understand the practical example from a funded startup as well as from a bootstrap startup who made big in this ecosystem. How do you they communicate to their stakeholders? So stay tuned till the end of this video to know exactly the process and the way to communicate to these investors. Before jumping into how to create an MIS, let's understand why you should create an MIS. So MIS is usually been asked by your investors to be sent once your books have been closed, right? Usually between 7th to 10th of the every month, investor will say, please send me your MIS. So MIS is something which would have your business performance and your overall growth story. Investors are someone who's invested money in you with an intention of making a higher return from you. So this MIS report will build a trust and confidence in your business. This is the way you can share your wins, your losses, what all challenges you are facing in the business. Let's give you an example. Suppose you've landed a big client in this month and also you've hired a very senior position in your organization. So these are the something and update which you can share to your investors. Ultimately, investors will feel or they'll feel more confident about your business and about the investment which they have made. On a flip side, if suppose there isn't cash flow issues with your business which you would like to highlight it up, investors can take a proactive measures to help you with respect to an additional funding or with respect to any other way wherein the cash flows issues can be mitigated. So that is the reason we should create an MIS on a monthly basis and share it with your stakeholders. Now let's understand what should you include in an MIS report or how should you go ahead about creating an MIS report. So MIS report has to be fixed to one pager or two pager document. It should not go into 15 or 20 pager slide wherein you are giving an entire history of the entire month. Let's not do that. So the four main components of an MIS should be: number one, the metrics that matter; second, the achievements; number three, the challenges which you are facing in your business; and number four would be the specific ask from the investors. So let's understand point by point. Number one, metrics that matter. So as a startup, there would be a certain metrics which would be very critical for you to understand. Suppose for a SaaS based startup, the metric would include monthly recurring revenue or a churn rate or how many new customers we have onboarded in this particular month. So these are called the North Star metrics. I identify those North Star metrics for your business and keep track on this on a monthly basis. So suppose a SaaS business is there, they have onboarded a 50 new customers, their monthly recurring revenue is 75 lakhs, and the churn rate is maybe a 5 customers were churned from the previous month. So this is the metrics what matters. Number two, achievements. In the achievement section, you should mention the specific achievements which are big enough to be shared or celebrated, should be disclosed to your investors. Few achievements would be something like you've landed a very big client. Second would be something you wanted to hire a CTO for your startup for a really long period of time, which you have managed to that, and you've got someone which is very experienced and which is going to help you scale your business very quickly. So these are the few achievements which you can mention in your monthly investor update. Third, the challenges faced. Now, this is the section wherein you need to be honest and tell to your investors that these are the particularly challenges which you are facing in your business. Few of the challenges would be like you are facing a lot of, you are still onboarding a lot of new customers, but the challenges which you are facing is there is a lot of churn which is happening due to an onboarding issue. So you identified the challenges and also you know the solution for these challenges. So it's very important to identify those challenges and mention to your investors. By this, typically investors will feel more confident that any business is going to face challenges. So you need to identify those challenges and identify a solution and present it to your investors. Number fourth, which is specific ask from your investors. Now, you can't tell your investors that, I want these all things from you. Investors are someone who is given money to you with an expectation that you know how to run the business. But there are few areas you would still be learning and would want some experience from an experienced investors. So that's where you ask a specific update from them. Maybe you will feel that you need an extra funds for respect to this additional project. So this is a specific ask. Or maybe if you need some connect with one B2B client, then you can tell them to give a references. So this is the specific ask which you can tell to your investors. So these are the four things which should be definitely in your MIS reports which has been sent to your investors. We have understood what to be included in an MIS report. So let's talk about what all common mistakes a founder should avoid when creating an MIS report. So number one, loading too much of information. You should stick to a very specific format and provide a very specific information rather than dumping out spreadsheets, Excel sheets, multiple charts and graphs. Number two, ignoring challenges. As a startup founder, you would always wanted to show a good picture, but this may create a lot of hurdles in the future. So stick to what is the factual position of the business. If there are highs, show the high. If there are lows, show the lows as well. As we've understood how to create an MIS and what all mistakes needs to be avoided, here are good practices which you can follow. Number one, be consistent. Number two, use charts, visual graphs to make your presentation more effective and has a storytelling approach. That's it. That's the end of the video. Hope you like the videos. You can share it with your friends or with your founders who raise funds or who are about to raise funds. Now, if you have any specific challenges while creating those MIS reports, or if you want a format for your business, you can mention in the comment box below. Our team will reach out to you and send this MIS report format to you. Have a good day. See you soon.